Back now at 8:42 with a special network-wide series, Your Stories, Our Stories. This morning, what it is like to grow up multiracial in America. There are 25% more mixed-race Americans than a decade ago.
People ask me, like, what are you? I think, like, I just say, like, I'm American.
And they're like, no, I mean, like, what are you? Then I have to do the whole explanation. I'm Chinese, I'm Irish.
Greek, Spanish, Polish, Russian, and Filipino.
Half Filipino, half black.
If you want to do the fraction answer, 1/2 German, 3/8 Japanese, and 1/8 Chinese. So I'm definitely a Hapa, but I'm 100% Hapa, as they say.
Look at these faces. Do you know what they all have in common? They're part Asian. Better yet, 100% Hapa. What's a Hapa? Let's ask Kip Fulbeck. He's had to answer that question all his life. This California surfer knows the meaning of Hapa. It's a Hawaiian slang term for people of mixed racial heritage with partial roots in Asian and/or Pacific Islander ancestry.
I think that when it comes down to it, realizing that we are a multiracial society, the U.S. has been multiracial since the beginning. Pop culture doesn't so much define us as it reflects what we're thinking about. You have an artist like Cher who came out with Half Breed, and I remember as a kid hearing that song. It was just a great song because she was actually willing to talk about not being able to fit into either world. I grew up in a Chinese household. My siblings are all full-blooded Chinese from China. I grew up as like the white kid.
But he wasn't just a white kid.
And so every time I've had to fill out a form in my whole life, be it a school form or a census questionnaire or an arrest record, whatever it is, it's always this check one box. And what they're really asking me to say is, pick mom or dad, but just one.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but job application.
Answer all questions completely to the best of your abilities. Name.
Kip Fulbeck.
Age.
44.
Hair color.
Black.
Eye color.
Brown.
Favorite color.
Pardon me?
Favorite color.
Blue.
Pizza or spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Celine Dion or Mariah Carey.
Pass.
Ethnicity. Check one.
White, Asian, and Pacific Islander.
Please check only one box. Ethnicity.
White, Asian, and Pacific Islander.
Please check only one box.
All right, I make a big check mark across the two.
Do not mark outside the designated areas. Ethnicity.
Multiracial.
Do not invent your own box.
So for his art venture, the Hapa Project, Kip Fulbeck traveled around the country photographing every Hapa he could find and had them address that one infamous Hapa question. Of the more than 1,100 people photographed, 116 made it into the resulting book.
Ultimately, I think I want it to be a thing of celebration. I want people to really celebrate the diversity of Hapa people, and so it's not a thing of like, oh, I know someone that's half Asian too. Oh, yeah, oh, you kind of look like him. It's like vastly varied people, and I want people to be able to go and put themselves out there and have it be a real celebratory thing.
So, Professor Fulbeck's lesson is this. It's perfectly normal for Hapas to deal with identity issues, and preserved in these pages, each face tells a unique story.
Not just being multiracial myself, but having a multiracial child, I want him to grow up in a world where he doesn't have to define himself or fit into categories which are set by other people for him.
And I want him to grow up in a world where he doesn't have to pick one box. Make people realize that this is around us everywhere you look, and give these kids the place to tell their own stories in their own voice. I think what's nice is that kids don't default to race like we do as adults. And kids just like, they're writing things like, I'm a guitar player, video games, that's it, period.
And it's not that long ago when Rosa Parks was fighting for a spot on the bus. I mean, and now today to look at this, it's phenomenal.
This is amazing. This is just multiculturalism at its best.
That's been the greatest part, about this exhibit and the book is that they all have something to look at to see other kids just like them.
This is part of our history, it's not something new. And every person's single story matters.
I want a world where we no longer judge a person by the color of their skin, the length of their hair, the shape of their body, or the money in their pocketbook. A world where Ricky Martin can stay Ricky Morales. Erykah Badu can stay Erykah Wright. Jon Stewart can stay John Leibowitz. Dean Cain can stay Dean Tanaka. And Martin Sheen can stay Ramon Estevez. I want a world where Taco Bell, man, they got to use an asterisk when they dare call themselves Mexican food. I want a world where poachers get shot by the animals.
And waitresses, they tip you depending how nice you are to them. And spammers get hives, and schools get funding, and I never lose my car keys. A world where Ashley Simpson, Celine Dion, and John Mayer all stuck on some deserted island singing the same song to each other over and over and over and over until there is only one.